And most real estate agents don't treat your real estate business like a business. You treat it like a transactional, retail store. It's not. So this is where the biggest misnomer is. And the agent's mindset is skewed because what they think versus reality, right? Our feelings lie to us, the facts don't. So if you really understand what the facts are, you can see where you're at in that. Then look at your business. Are you driving your business? Are you really working in your business, or are you working on it? And I think there's also a paradigm shift there. Agents that work in their business are, hyper focused on that next sale. And oh my God, I'm only at 3. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is a problem. Well, if they work on their business, then they understand what the business is doing, what the market is telling you. The market is giving you the data. You got to find where is your strengths and where's the positives in what you're doing versus where are you falling down. This is going to sound arbitrary at first, but just hear me out. What they have to do is stop being so busy and start being productive. So we have to make sure that everything we're doing is income producing activities.
You're listening to the #1 real estate podcast in the world, where we talk with real estate professionals all across North America about their wins, losses, lessons, and stories, help you win in your local market today. My name is Cody from Sheridan Street. I'm joined with Vikram Deal of the Real Estate Sales Academy. Vikram, my man, what has happened? What are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm in Medellin, Colombia still. Same place. Place.
Okay.
Yep. They haven't kicked me out of the country yet, nor have they given me a visa to stay in the country. So we are in limbo. How's Bogota? You're in a different spot every week.
So I'm here now for the next 40 to 45 days.
In Bogota?
In Bogota. My team, we are meeting up with a portion of my team come beginning of July. So I'm sticking around a little bit longer. Okay. Ali, our call center manager, is popping into Bogota. She's from Bogota. So we're going to get a bunch of people from our call center together, and we're going to jam and we're going to have some fun, and very similar to what we did in Argentina when you were there with us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Super dope, man.
Yeah, man. And what's new in business? What's new in life?
I mean, that's such a loaded question, but I gained like 15 pounds last month. And so
that's exciting. That's exciting.
Really?
Like I leave and you stop going to the gym? Like, what is this?
No, I still go to the gym. I just you can't work out a bad diet. And I can
are you not on carnivore anymore? Like you gave up carnivore diet?
No, I'm on carnivore ice cream, which means it's fatty. It's really good ice cream with lots and lots of bad things. And I go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm on a bike 20 miles a week in the hills of Medellin. I'll tell y'all, anybody who says they go to the gym so that they can eat what they want, you are overweight. Like, just straight up, there is no way that you out-work out me. Like 99% of you are not going to out-work out me. And you've seen my workouts, Cody. Like they don't change. I just suffer a lot more in the gym. And you are not going to out-work out a bad diet, because I guarantee like you will not keep up with me at the gym.
Yeah. Like I feel bad for you. It happens, but you'll get it. You'll get it back. You'll get it back, kid. You'll get it back.
It'll take me 2 weeks. It's a good motivator. As far as business goes, man, like business is good. Like, I've been working a lot on client facing scripts lately, and just, a lot of agents say the same thing that I said 12 years ago, that I hated 12 years ago, that I would hate to say now, which is why they don't actually prospect. And so just reworking like expired scripts, reworking door knocking scripts, reworking open house scripts with our clients has been really fruitful, because they're out there door knocking. Like I have one guy that's this week he's door knocked 8 hours.
Amazing.
Already. Yeah. He's like, he's picked up 4 good leads. He's picked up 4 good leads that could transact in the next 90 days. He's added like 12 to his database, which some people are like, that's not very much. Well, considering in the last 3 months, he added 0 prior to working with me, like that's a huge improvement. Yeah. And he has a listing appointment.
Yeah.
It's like, that stuff works. Weird.
Yeah.
You, man, what are you doing?
Man, we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. It's it's a very interesting market. It's
what does fun mean to you, Cody? Because
I just I'm having fun. I'm having fun. Okay. We're working with we've had a lot of cool conversations with some really large teams where we've been able to kind of plug some holes in in outbound, where like they have like 20, 30, 40,000 leads in their database. They're not doing anything with it. That they're just expecting people to just eventually raise their hand. So we're doing a lot of outbound for some large teams, which is really exciting. Nice. Sheridan Street, things are good. We're doing the free trial stuff. That's working out really well. People are super happy with that. So yeah, just having a ton of conversations right now and just working with our agents that we're really listening to a lot of live transfer calls, really trying to help them understand tonality, cadence, help them understand that it's like, the words that they say and how they say it trigger sales resistance. People are growing, and that's, right. People in our team are growing, people that we're working with are growing. That's exciting for me. But yeah, speaking about growing today, we have Curt Shewell with us, and somebody that's, has done a really amazing things in the EXP world, and really excited to have you here today. Somebody that's, really understands agent attraction on a deep level. Right. And we'll go down that way. But really what I'm excited to chat with Curt today about is what his agents that he's working with are doing in this market. Because we in the green room, we were talking about how both Vic and I have had far too many conversations this year with agents that last year did 15, 20 deals that are at 1 to 2 deals. And it's like, it's really interesting. Me and Vic were having this conversation today prior to about like, even my client success team is like I had one of our client success managers, we were in a leadership meeting this morning being like, they're so like, she like literally broke down. She's like, I'm having so many hard conversations with people that say that they just can't pay their bills. And that is the reality right now, where it's like some agents are taking rentals now. So I'm like, I think that, and I'm really excited to go into what agents can do in order to kind of keep their head above water in this market. But Curt, why don't you give us a 30-second to 1 minute overview on kind of like who you are, what you do, where you're at in the world, and how you got into real estate.
Wow. Okay. 30 seconds.
How about we don't talk about how you got into real estate? Let's just talk about where you're at in the world, and then
yeah, I've got an episode of that got aired. It's getting aired on Amazon Prime, where they did a story on me called My Story. And that actually explains how I got into real estate. And
perfect.
That real estate's a miracle job. So that's what that is. And I still believe today that real estate is a miracle job. Where I'm at, I'm out of Detroit, Michigan. So I'm in, Metro Detroit. That's the market I work out of. So the Southeast Michigan area is broken into 3 main counties. So Oakland, Wayne, Macomb County. I work in that area. That's pretty much where I dominate as far as our team and such. So I've got the largest team in the state of Michigan. Going to a guy named Mark Z. So we built the largest team in Michigan. We've got about 128 agents on our local team, and I scaled our team within EXP, and I've got just right around 3,000 agents now within our actual family group of agents within EXP that are in my organizations. That's what I've done there. It's a great time to move forward with helping agents right now, because agents need a lot of help. You brought it up, and I couldn't agree with you more. Sales wise, last year we topped over 1,000 transactions. This year we're probably going to fall a little bit short of that, and that's really where the market is. We'll talk about that as deep as you like. We're going to be probably around 900, so it's about a 10% difference there.
Let's talk about this for a second, Curt. And first off, congratulations to you and your teams for so much success. But Cody and I were just talking about this right before. A lot of agents think that right now they need to grow, right? Everybody's like, I want to do $37 million this year. And I'm like, what did you do last year? I did 11. And what did you do the year before? I did 14. I'm like, so we're on a downhill trajectory right now. Where are you at right now? I'm at 3 transactions. You want to do 37 million. You're at 1. That's a 37x return. Like, that's insanity sauce. You just said we're going to do 10% less, which I think, first off, thank you for your openness, your vulnerability to share with us like real numbers, because I think it's important for somebody where you're at. But you said something I think that's really important. And a lot of the people I talk to right now, they're like, 1, they believe in hopium. They just think something's going to turn around. But 2, they think that a lot of agents that are at par from where they're at last year are like, oh, we're doing so bad. We're doing so shitty. We're doing so crap. And I'm like, we're actually like, compared to the marketplace in a whole, like for a lot of people, growth is going to be maintaining their numbers are going down 10%, because what Cody said in our Facebook Live last call, which was really interesting, was what is the market doing? Like if everybody's down, if the market's down 25% and you're down 10, you're still winning. But if the market's down 25% and you're down 60, you're getting your ass kicked. So like, why do you feel like a 10% decrease is still not like super bad for this year?
It's a huge win. You nailed it. It's really, you got to know your numbers. You got to know what's going on in your market. So in our market right now, we're down between 17 to 22%, depending on the price point. And we break it down based on that. So you can really start to really understand your business. You got to break your business. You got to treat it like a business. And most real estate agents don't treat your real estate business like a business. You treat it like a transactional, retail store. It's not. So this is where the biggest, I think, misnomer is, and the agent's mindset is skewed because what they think versus reality, right? Our feelings lie to us, the facts don't. So if you really understand what the facts are, you can see where you're at in that. Then look at your business. Are you driving your business? Are you really working in your business, or are you working on it? And I think there's also a paradigm shift there. Agents that work in their business are, hyper focused on that next sale. And oh my God, I'm only at 3. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is a problem. Well, if they work on their business, then they understand what the business is doing, what the market is telling you. The market is giving you the data. You know where it is. So for us to look at it this way and actually take the business as a whole and say, okay, our market's down between 17 and 22%. If I take our scale of our price points out, and we're only going to be down about 10%, 11%, that's a massive win. I mean, we are way ahead of the curve. So that's a win. And you got to find where is your strengths and where's the positives in what you're doing versus where are you falling down. So the agents, to your point, oh my God, I closed 57 transactions last year. I don't know if I'm going to do 50. Well, if you take the math at a 15% ratio, you're right on target, about 15%. So you're average, which means you're sustaining what the market's giving you. You're doing exactly what you did last year, same effort, same result, but it's about a seven, in that case, 7 deals, 7 transactions less, but you're still going to be exactly at the same level. Now, the volume's going to be down, the numbers could be down, the commissions could be down, but you're actually killing it. You're doing really well. So if you look at the people and the example you gave, Berkham, was really great. If you're doing exactly what you did last year, you are about 15, 20% better than everybody else. So you're really doing well. You've got to measure yourself that way. Don't measure it based on last year. In sales in general, when you're running a business, what did we do last year? Where are you going to be this year? What's our goals? What's our increase? You're not in an increased market, right? We're in a decreased market. So if you really look at this and you really lay it out, pay attention to what's going on. If you're inside of that 15% buffer, you're doing great. You really are. If you're at even par of last year, you're probably 15%, 20% above a lot. In some markets, it's 25. And, it's 25 nationally. They're saying it's in the 20s. Every market I look at is a little different. But, if you take it as just a whole, you got to look at your own market. It's probably 22, 23% down. And you look at most businesses, which you got to look at, and I'm not jumping ahead. I look at what the brokerages are doing. Go look at your franchise models, go look at your cloud models, and go see, is there a difference in that? There's a massive difference. And that's where I'm seeing the biggest trend. So if you really look at those, and I look at my competition locally to me, right? We're the biggest cloud guy around here. We don't have too many of the cloud companies, competing with us in this market, but I do all the franchises. So those franchise markets, some of them are down 35, 37, 38, 40%.
Wow.
Now, like you said, they're down 20% over the average. They're failing big time, right? And they're having a lot of trouble. And I'm not trying to make enemies with my friends that are in the franchise. But the truth is, go look at your numbers, because I do, and compare them and look at where you were last year, where you're at now.
Yeah.
Look at your teams. If you don't have teams inside those brokerages, you're in big trouble, because those are the owners that seem to be thriving. Again, it's that lead problem. It's what you guys were talking about in the green room. They don't have the leads. They don't have the ability to generate the leads. So they need more training. And Cody, you said something to me backstage was about training. And the agents who are not trained on how to get this, they're looking for their spears and they're looking for these things just to come in the way they always have. And they're down about 20%. They're freaking out. They shouldn't be. But I get it. You're down from last year. If you don't know how to lead generate, you're in big trouble.
I'm really curious because I want to stay on the market topic, because I think that a lot of people have a hard time, especially if you're a single agent in a brokerage that doesn't give you a lot of support. You have a hard time understanding that, asking yourself the question, did the market grow or did my business grow? Did the market decrease or did my business decrease? So how can a agent that is out there understand and comprehend these numbers? Because we're seeing a lot of, top coaches in the space, top agents in the space, top team leads in the space saying that now is the perfect time potentially for some of these single agents to join teams to learn the skills versus the, like I heard Tom Ferry said this the other day that I think over 60,000 agents last month hung up their license. So what is the solution, do you think, aside from learning how to generate leads? Do you think that there is another solution out there that agents that are struggling aren't necessarily looking at? Or what are the things that you're teaching your network of 3,000 agents or your network of 100 agents locally? What is the top priority that they should be doing right now in the marketplace in order to outperform the market?
So what you have to do, and this is going to sound arbitrary at first, but just hear me out. What they have to do is stop being so busy and start being productive. So we have to do, productive, transactional business. We have to make sure that everything we're doing is income producing activities. Most agents have no clue what I'm talking about when I say that. And they're like, Curt, I don't know what you mean. So what the deal is this. It's like you can't, and Burgundy said, you can't outperform your diet, right? Right? You can't, your eating habits, I should say, right? So if your eating habits are poor, your diet is poor, you can't work out it. You're not going to be able to burn off enough. So when you look at that in business and real estate, it's the same thing. If I'm doing a bunch of busy work, and Floyd Wickman, he created something, 100 years ago, which was really good and it still applies today. If you literally took your schedule and you literally mapped it out, you drew it out, or you printed it out off of your calendar, and you literally put down every hours in the day, let's just call it an 8-hour day. You worked an 8-hour day, 9 to 5, and you wrote that out on a calendar and you color coded it. And you only put in green things that you did that literally were helping you build your business when it comes to income producing activities. And then you put it on the wall, you walk across the room and look at it. You'll see very little green on that sheet. You'll see a lot of red, which are a lot of busy things you're doing. They're not income producing activities. Those are going to cost you. Those are going to hurt. Those are going to be problems. Okay. So those are things that are going to keep you from making money and keep you very busy. You talk to any agent on the planet today. Oh, I'm so busy. How's biz? Oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. Right. But you're not making any money. You're not closing any deals. You're not helping any families. What is it that you're so busy doing? And they're trying to do things they haven't done. I'll give you an example. So Burkham, if I said to you, scale of, 100%, and you're on this scale, you are sitting on you're 20% good at this, but you're 90% good at this, right? Well, I'm going to tell you, spend more time. Most people tell you, and you get taught this in school, spend the time working on the things you're not good at, get better at these things, and you'll see a big difference in your life. Absolute hogwash. It's garbage. So not true. I am absolutely horrific at these 5 things. I could spend all day, every day working on these, and my percentage is going to go from 6% to 7%. It's not going to change a damn thing, and it's certainly not going to make me any more money. But if I spend my time really becoming something that I'm at 80% on, and I really make sure that I become the best at that, because that's what I'm really good at already, and I put my time there, and I get that to a 90, I move the needle tremendously, and my income just goes really through the roof at that point. So spend your time on the things you're good at. What people and the agents don't understand is what they aren't good at.
Names.
Oh, you're muted there, Burton.
That was my next question for you, Curt, was I've fundamentally changed my view of the real estate industry and market and agents over the last few months after talking to hundreds, if not thousands of agents and listening to calls. They just, we all know that the real estate market's broken, the way that we introduce people into becoming a service provider or a real estate agent. It's just totally flawed. I don't think there's anybody that does business that would say that it's working, because the churn rate's insane. How does an agent, like, how you got thousands of agents in your downline, right? How would you coach one of your agents to finding what they're good at? Because they also don't, one of the challenges is if you don't track, it's hard to find what you're good or bad at.
You just nailed it. There's your answer.
But how do we get them to track?
Okay. You have to get them to understand the philosophy of, if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. So you have to be able to measure something, to hold yourself accountable to it. There's no measurement to it. then you can't hold yourself accountable to it. How do you measure? Well, I did some good things today. Well, what good things? Lots of them. Well, I really worked hard today. Great. Measure hard. How hard did you work? Did you do anything that helped you get another client? Did you reach out to, no, but I really worked on some other things. What things? You have to be able to measure everything. And if you're not measuring it, it's because you're full of crap, right? You're fooling yourself. You're convincing yourself that you're doing something. And I'd say this way. If I was to take every one of my agents inside this office here, and I said, okay, you have to go home and tell your kids what you did today. You have to literally lay it out, spell it out for them. What did you do, mom or dad, today? What did you do to make more money, put more money on this table? And very few of them will actually be able to write down what they did that actually was working towards earning them money. Many of them are getting busy to get busy. They're doing everything they can to not prospect. So I don't want to prospect because it's not fun. I don't want to prospect because it's going to make me feel bad. I don't want to prospect because I don't know what to say. I don't know my scripts. I don't know my dialogues. I don't know my objection handlers. So therefore, I am lost. And if I get on that phone, I'm going to look like a fool. And I sure as heck don't want to do it in front of anybody because I'm going to be embarrassed. Biggest problem they have is they're worried about how they look and appear versus what they're actually doing.
How do we shift the paradigm? That's my big question. And that's the big idea with, the whole reason why we started this podcast to begin with. And we were talking about that in the green room, where there's so many people that, like, is it just always going to be like this? Like, you're always going to see 95% of agents fail, and, or what is, like, I guess, like, what is your North Star, like, with somebody that works with so many agents that has such a large reach, with such a large vision? Like, even our mentor, Sharon Srivatsa, same thing. He's like, there's this frustration around, like, wanting to see people win, but some people some people just don't want it for themselves. Is it, I know we're going philosophical here, but, like, what is it?
Okay. It's three things, right? And you do them in this direction, but you have to understand them backwards. Three things. One, you have to have a schedule. You have to have a routine. You have to have your purpose. First thing I need to know is, what is your purpose? What is your why, right? So your purpose is your why. Why are you doing this? What do you want to get out of it? And what happens is we compare ourselves to each other. We compare ourselves to others. We compare ourselves to the top agent. I'm going to be the top agent. Okay, says who and why? Is that what you really want to be? Oh yeah, I want to be the top agent. Okay, because that makes you what? Well, I don't know, a lot of money. What is a lot of money? Well, more than I have. What is more than you have? How much do you have? You know what I'm saying? We run through these cycles of absolute gibberish where we're running in a circle. We're not getting anywhere because you're not being finite, right? You have to be very specific. What is your goal? Let me give you an example. Here's an agent I just had literally this morning. The Curt, oh my God, I did it. I said, what'd you do? Tell me. I'm excited. What'd you do? He says, I got my first appointment. I said, oh, good for you. High fives. This is great. You've been an agent for 3 days? This is really exciting. Good for you. What did you do? Tell me about that. Well, I talked to them. I said, walk me through the call. Here was the call. Mrs. Jones, oh my God, I'm really excited. I'd like to show you some houses. Do you want to see houses? Yes, I do. Oh, that'd be great. So then if I took you out next week and showed some houses, how about this weekend? No, I can't this weekend, but I can next week. Oh my God, that's great. I said, okay, so far so good. I like this. Where are we going with this? And he says, well, then I told her, okay, great. Well, we'll get together next week. I'll show you some houses. And she said, yes. And I said, if I find you the right house, would you buy it? She said, yes. And I said, okay. And he goes, and we're all set. And next week I'm going to show her a house and she's going to buy a house. I'm going to sell my first house. I'm so excited. I got my first appointment. I said, okay. How did the call end? Well, I just told you. I said, okay, I missed it. What day are we calling them? Well, next week. Which day? Oh, I don't know. Next week. Okay. Who's calling you? Are you calling them or are they calling you? Oh, I don't know. And what time are you calling them? I don't know. Which day? Don't know. Okay. Where are you showing them houses? Don't know. Where is she looking for houses? Don't know. Give a price point. Well, no, not yet. Okay. What appointment do you have? You have nothing. You had a great conversation with somebody who told you what you wanted to hear. You have what's called happy ears. You heard what you wanted to hear. You have no appointment. This lady doesn't even know when you're calling her. She's not expecting a call from you. Well, sure she is next week. What does that even mean? What day does she want to see a house? I don't know. This is my point. So then I laid it out to him. This is where you dropped the ball. You did great with a nice conversation. You had an A1 nice conversation with somebody, but you didn't set an appointment because now one of these other sharks are going to call that lady on a list and they're going to get her on the phone. You know what they're going to do? They're going to set her up for a time on Monday for that phone call. And on Tuesday, they're going to be showing her houses. And on Wednesday, she's going to be writing an offer. And on Thursday, she's going to get an offer accepted. And next weekend, she's going to do her inspection. And the week after that, we're going to have a deal running forward because somebody's going to take this lady right where she was dying to go that you didn't take her, right? So this is what happens. We're not specific on what we do. So we don't know our purpose, which is our why. We've got to be able to spell it out. And most agents, when you ask them that, well, why are you doing this? Well, because I want to do really good. Why are you doing this? Because I want to help people. It's noble. It's great. I love you. You're a good-hearted person, and you're not going to have any success in real estate. Why do you want to do this? Well, I want to make money. Okay, how much money? Right? Right? A lot, right? Let's get it dialed in. And what does everybody say? What's the magic number? I want to make 100 grand.
100 grand.
100 grand. That's the number one answer. Survey says 100 grand.
100 grand.
Everybody says they want to make 100 grand. And my answer is great. If I show you what it takes to make 100 grand, would you do it? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then you show it to them and then they do that. Oh my God. And their eyes
that's a lot of, Curt, that's a lot of work though.
Right. So we have to bite it off into small pieces. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you figure out what you really want to make? Well, let's start with something, right? Give me the target. Now let me show you a map and I'll do it backwards. You got to reverse engineer it and you lay it out for them. Then they start realizing, man, I'm not going to commit to that because the commitment's the key to the whole thing. And that's going to be the routine, right? So I need to know. So the schedule is when I need to be someplace and where and when I need to be there. The routine is what I'm actually doing. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is what I'm doing, right? And if you don't have a routine and you're not doing the same thing over and over, you're not going to have any success because there's no consistency. Consistency is the key to success. If you have no consistency, you have no success. If you have consistency, you'll be on that leaderboard constantly and you'll climb right up because your routine will get better and better and better because you know your purpose, you know your why, and your schedule, you live and die by it. And most agents don't.
Well, one of the challenges, and you guys can push back if you disagree, but one of the challenges is that we get into real estate, right? Because what are the three reasons why an agent gets into real estate? They want to make more money. They want to have more control over their time. And they
think they value their freedom. They want freedom. They don't get freedom. They don't get freedom. They get flexibility with your time.
So what happens and this is where the big disconnect that a lot of agents have is that they're willing to get up at 5 a.m. to go work for, we know you worked for Honeywell at a time in their automations department, which doesn't surprise me why you're so successful with your business, but you worked for a large corporation, Honeywell. If they told you to be in at 8 o'clock, damn straight Curt was there at 7:55, if not earlier, because you ain't walking in at 8:02 because you're out of a job. If realtors realize that you don't get more time, but like you said a second ago, you get more flexibility with your time. And if you learn right out the gate, hey, what makes me money? What doesn't? Like you don't hire an assistant so that you buy your time back. You hire an assistant so you can prospect more, so you can get to that 2 to 3, 4 deals a month like you wanted to. A lot of people are like, hey, we got an assistant. Now we could go F off at the bar all day. Well, no, that's not going to help you. Like, it's great you got the assistant, but now you got to pay the assistant 50 grand, which means you got to earn an additional 50 grand, which means if it's going to make sense, you should earn another 100 grand, which means you got to work more. But they don't get that. And so how are you, right? Because we Cody and I get it, you get it. How are you influencing your agents, especially ones that like are productive, but they're not like, they're kind of lazy because they're comfortable? How are you encouraging these people to be consistent with themselves so that they hit their actual goals?
The ones that have the most success, I'm able to take them through the process. And when I take them through the process, what I mean is the actual steps of what are you really doing in your business, right? You have 5 principles to your business. Your business is built on two parts, the actual production part, and then running it as a business, your ownership. So what agents don't ever have is they don't ever have ownership in their business. They're in business for themselves, by themselves. And they probably have the worst boss on the planet because they work for themselves, right? Because they haven't learned how to be a good employee yet. They sure as hell haven't learned how to be a boss. So when you really break it down from, I've got a slide I can show you an illustration if that helps to break it down.
Yes, totally. Let's do it.
So if you're really trying to figure out what the
And for those of you guys, real quick, Curt, as you pull up your cool background on screen, for those of you guys who are not watching this on YouTube, you may want to go jump over to the YouTube to see what Curt's showing. Cody, is there any way you can pin Curt so that his screen's larger?
Yeah, I can probably do that.
Cool. Spotlight for everyone. There we go.
I'll take you, if you guys are open to about 10 minutes, I can kind of walk you through a whole thing here. So when an agent's deciding, where do I work? Where do I want to work? Why am I choosing this brokerage over another one? First thing they need to ask themselves, and this is what most agents miss. This is where they miss out of the gate. It's not their fault because they don't know what they don't know. They know what they've been told. Well, the biggest thing that's happened lately that took our real estate world and flipped it literally upside down, what's changing the actual market, the actual industry on its head. When we talk market, the buyer's market, the seller's market, it's always a good market. It just depends on what side of the fence you're on. So it's a good market. There's no such thing as a bad market. And then the second thing is, well, rates are up, rates are down. Who cares? People that have to buy a house have to buy a house. The rate's irrelevant, right? We date the rate, we marry the house. So get off this rate. It doesn't matter. You can get an arm if you need to. The rates will change in a couple of years anyway. Every 4 years, we're flipping out presidents and administrations, and then shit's good, shit's bad. It's just how it works, right? Don't worry about that. That's not going to stop you from having success in the housing market. So get off the rate thing. So the simplest thing is understanding what's changing the actual industry, not the market, the industry. The thing that's changing is technology, right? Mm-hmm. What do we have? We are inundated with what? Technology companies that are lead generation companies. What do? They lead generate better than we do as agents, way better, right? So what's happening is technology is changing the game. If I said to you guys or any agent out there, meet your clients where they are. You know where your clients are? They're all online.
They're online.
They're not driving around going, oh, honey, there's a real estate office. Maybe we should go in there and get the book to go look through, find where the houses are for sale. There's no such thing as that. That's how it was done in 1906, right? That's how we do it today. And I say that, and I'll throw some at you in a second. You'll see the paradigm to it. It's pretty funny because we lead generate through technology. This is where our clients are. Meet your client where they are. They're all online, peeps. Go find them. The number one name in real estate is Zillow. It's not Remax or the hot air balloon. It's not EXP, cloud-based, because I said so. It's not. It's Zillow. You know why? Because your clients think so. They think that's the authority of real estate. You know what they are? They're a giant cloud company. Welcome to the world of technology. These cloud companies are dominating every space they're in. This company is dominating our space because our clients go there. My own parents, I was selling their condo. They were selling their condo. And I had my mother literally saying to me, yeah, but Curt, I looked at Zestimate and I saw the Zillow thing. Please, for the love of God, I've been doing this 20 years. Trust me. I gave you a stack this big of all the things you need to know.
But Curt, Zillow said it was worth $50,000 more. Are you working for the buyer, Curt?
It's because Zillow has
the authority.
They have the brand authority and they have consumer trust. They are the authority.
Zillow says it's like the worst words on the planet. Zillow says, but the truth is, amazing job. They're a cloud giant, and you cannot fight a cloud giant. Think about this. If I want to fight a cloud giant, what's the first thing I better be?
A bigger cloud?
Yeah, you bet. I at least better be a cloud. So if I want to on a cloud platform, I better be cloud-based, right? So here's the problem. Real estate franchises are built this way. This is back in 1906. I was that number up. 1906, Coldwell Banker started this thing. 1906, Coldwell Banker, first real estate franchise model. So Coldwell Banker be able to do this, right? And you know who all the other ones are. And it doesn't matter which one you pick. I don't care. Pick the red one, pick Gary Keller, pick Berkshire with Warren Buffett, pick Vinegar. Doesn't matter. They're all structured identically the same because they built this model back then. They take this model and the franchise model goes up and recruits investors. They're giant recruiting machines. They recruit investors to give them money to take their brand nationwide. Then they take it international. Then they recruit more investors to own and buy regions inside of this national and eventually international brand inside this franchise. And then they recruit a bunch of franchisee broker owners to buy the franchise inside of each of these regions, inside of this national, international brand, inside of this franchise model. And they recruit new guys They go out and recruit all of us. They go out and recruit fucking agents. These are giant recruiting machines. Now, here's the funny part. Where is all the money coming from?
Curt, I want to jump in here real quick because Cody and I have talked about, I've always said the brokerage model's broken. It's been broken for decades. You guys, this is why the brokerage model is broken, is because they are all like, when you go into your brokerage, right? When you go into your brokerage, or you're a new person being recruited by a brokerage, one of the first things that the broker recruiting person is going to say, we're an international company. We have 36,000 agents. We serve this many countries, this many continents, this many regions, blah, blah. Me. Nobody gives a flying fuck about, honestly, but that's the first thing we start on. And then we talk about how we're all over you guys, it's all about membership. The whole model is about how many people can we get to say. It's a vanity metric. It's likes on your Facebook post. Listen into what Curt's saying. Sorry, Curt. You're dropping my language for everything on this one.
That's how it works, man. That's the truth of it. You're spot on. So 100% of all the money, right, comes from the agents. This is where all the money comes in. So what you don't understand as an agent is how your brokerage, a franchise, is built. They built a pyramid. That's what they built. They built a pyramid, and you're in it. Oh, that's right. You're not in it. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
These are the partners he paid in. They all are partners in this game. Guess who's not a partner in the business? You as an agent. But yet you bring 100% of the money. So think for a second. Who's the billionaire on the page? The agent,
Warren.
right? That's where all the money comes from, right, guys? Oh, that's
Warren
right.
Buffett.
No, exactly. Warren Buffett for Berkshire is. Nate Liniger is for Reimagining. Gary Keller is for Keller, right? The Anywhere guys from Anywhere Realty that have Coldwell Banker and C21 in it, right? Those guys. Now, you saw the big news that happened last week, but those guys are in huge trouble. But that's what just came out. Read anything and stop. You'll take on stuff.
Yeah.
So these guys, Sotheby's, all the rest of them, it doesn't matter which one it is. They're pyramid companies who do nothing but recruit. It's a numbers game. As long as they have enough agents in, they're okay. The problem is they're not. They're not okay. They're losing agents, losing market share, losing revenue. I'll talk about that in just a second. The problem is this, guys. We bring in all the money, but we're never a partner in the game. Not 1 minute of 1 day, 1 second in this model. Any franchise you work for, you are not a partner. You never are.
Yep.
And homes you have to sell to become a partner. Cody, come in. Yeah.
How many homes? Yeah. Like,
When was this? One of these guys over here. I was the number one agent in their office. You know how much ownership I got? Zero. You know what they gave me left? Zero. You know, Matt told me I could get anything I want. Curt, you're the best agent out there, man. You'll be successful no matter where you're amazing. You're great. Hey, thank you so much. Pats on the head, make me feel really great, right? Then I tell me I'm leaving and I'm going to open up this brokerage across the street. They lost their friggin' minds. You're going to fail. You're going to be a loser. None of that's going to work. What happened to the love? I thought we were in love. Where's the love? Not here because I was here. In order to be them, you have to leave them. This is how it works, guys. The problem is what happens is agents do this. Agents go ahead. And what do? We jump from this one to this one, 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 expecting a different result. What's that called when you do the same thing over, expecting a different result? What do we call that, guys?
Insanity.
Hey, now get it. We're a little bit nuts just to be real estate agents to begin with. I get that. The truth is, we think that it's going to be grass is greener. It's the exact same thing. You are no different. And I've challenged every agent I've ever met that I've had this conversation with any one of these guys. And I said, take your exact pay plan, take the same deals you did that you did last year, and put it into this model, that one. You're not more than one transaction different. They're all the exact same. You're not within one transaction. So if you sold a $300,000 house, $9,000 GCI, 3% commission, $9,000. None of these are $9,000 different from each other. Not one of them. And I don't care what your cap was. Well, they grandfathered me and I got the sweetest deal, right? I look at this crap and I'm like, really? That's amazing. Yeah, I get 100%. Really? Do you? Yeah, I was at Remax. Well, you know what's really cool? Dave Liniger said, hey, I'm the guy that's never going to sell a house. Remember, he ain't sold a house in 50 years, right? But what he gets 5% on every single deal you ever write. I don't care what grandfathered BS cap you have. It doesn't matter. The caps are relevant. You're paying 5% on every deal you write. You get to 100%, you're never at 100. You're at 95. You're not even close. This is what you get here. These two, oh, even better. 8.5% they take from you for the rest of your life. So when you're at 100, you're at 91.5. You're barely over 90. 100% model, which most agents never get to. Remember that. Most agents never get to. It's a 90-10 rule. 10% of the agents in the office actually cap, the rest of them don't. Right? So here's what you're looking at. So when you start looking at this stuff, Keller Williams, okay, Gary only takes 6% only. Are you kidding me? Remember, this is the one piece of the pie you can never negotiate. There's no such thing, because these guys do not care. They don't care. They started the pyramid. They sit on the top of it. They're in the ivory tower right here. Not one of these guys has ever sold a house the last 40 years. Now, but yet here we sit there and watch these guys become the billionaires off our labor, because we're not partners in a business they are.
What's great, Curt, about this is that people bitch about Zillow all day long, but they don't bitch about how their company takes such a chunk out of their pocketbook every month and provides them zero support. Like when I get on calls with people, they're like, oh, well, our brokerage does this. And I said, so why aren't you already crushing it then? If your brokerage cared so much about you, they would never have allowed you to have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. They don't care. It's not built for you. It's built for them.
Correct. That's why this cloud giant Zillow is putting these guys out of business. Think about this, right? Zillow Flex. Zillow's now, they got smart, right? So what they did, after they lost $564 million, and they got smart, right? Which I love the fact that they did, because they tried to put us out of the game. Try to make it where the clients just give them their house. They buy it off his estimate. Thank God his estimate's so jacked up. But the good news is they couldn't get that part right for the trade-in. And then they would have you buy with them with an agent. So then they get paid their money and they would buy your house and just flip it. The problem was estimate so off. They lost $564 million and they had to shut the entire division down. So I'm cool with that. But here's the thing. Right? Didn't make them the best lead generators. They still did. Think about that. I'm going to invest in my money into a company that lost $564 million because they're doing it wrong. But yet our clients, right, our buyers and sellers think they're the authority. They've done a really good job. So at the end of the day, what happens is once these guys are at 50, 60, 70, 80% of your business, God forbid they're 100% of your business, you're an agent. Here's the problem when you're tagged in with these guys. We are too, out of Flex team, right? But we never do more than 40% of our business with these guys. We're closing somewhere right around 40 deals a month with these guys, right? 35 to 40. Got to keep it there, which means we have to lead generate like crazy elsewhere to make sure that they can never become this big of our business, because then they can dictate where we work.
Yep. How you work. Oh, you have to say this to the client. You have to do this. You have to follow this rule. You have to follow. And guess what? Agents, if you, and you guys, I spent a lot of money on Zillow before any of you knew what Zillow was. They always complain that Zillow will learn to lead gen, go door knock, go cold call, go do more open houses, go do more YouTube stuff, go create a brand so you don't have to be told by Zillow what to say and how to say it. I've seen, Curt, we saw people that had 80% of their business, like you said, come from Zillow, and now they're down to 0 because Zillow switched everything, kicked them out of the program, and now they're like, oh shit, what do we do?
Now think about that. You're spot on. Not only they kick you out of the program, so you lose this much of your income. Who can? Nobody. Going to these guys, because these guys are all going down their, right? We talked about they're losing agent count, they're losing revenue, right? And they're losing their market share. So what's happening is Zillow's looking at them saying, well, everything's going to Flex, but they give you the lead for free, but then take a third of the money on the backside, right? Well, they're taking a third now. What happens when they're up this much of your business? We're not going to go at 30 anymore. We got to go at half. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
You're so dependent on them, you're in big trouble. But here's the cool part. These companies have teams, and the ones that have the teams are the only one that you can get on the Flex program. So it eliminates a bunch of these guys already. Then the ones that do have teams, they can be Flex. However, what's happening is all those numbers are fading, right? Agents, agent count, market share, the whole 9 yards. So then they're pulling it from them, but they're telling that team, listen, we do love you. We want to work with you, but we can't work with you at one of these franchise models because they're all going out of business. I piss everybody off when I say that, but it's a fact. Go look at it. Yeah. What's happening here, these guys are saying, look, you want to keep your income, then you got to go someplace else. We're a cloud company. You're going to have to get on a cloud platform. That's the only thing that's going to survive. Now, yeah, piss off my friends with that, and that's okay because it's still true. Not because of me, I'm not that important to the world, but this is what's happening. Here's your cloud companies. Check this out. Here's a fun little fact for everybody. Top 20 brokerages in the world, top 20 in the world, 15 of them are franchise. Well, out of the tens of thousands of brokerages, right? All these franchises, there's so many of them, but only 15 of the top 20 of them anymore. 5 of them are cloud.
Yep.
Most people can't pick 5 names out of here and tell me who the hell they are. They don't even know who these guys are. Now, EXP, that's who I am. So most people, when I'm talking to me, know that I work for EXP. So they know that one. They know Zillow. Zillow actually uses us as agents. They don't even do it themselves, right? Number one company that sold more revenue dollars than any other brokerage last year was Curt, right? And most people don't even know who they are. EXP sold more loans transactionally than any other independent brokerage in the world. They were number one. These are 2 cloud-based companies, guys, right? But here's the real telltale sign. Go look this stuff up. Don't trust me. You can curse me out right now if they're watching your show. But the truth is, here's the reality. 3 years in a row, 2020, 2021, 2022, every single one of these franchise old integrated models that are going away. It's a broken model, guys. All of every one of those went down in agent count 3 years in a row, went down in market share 3 years in a row, went down in revenue 3 years in a row. If your business is failing, right? If you're not growing, you're dying, like it or not. Just the way it works. That's business in any business. Well, how many more years can they sustain that type? Can't. That's what they're desperate. That's why what's happening is these other franchise models are buying each other up. The Remaxes, go to look at your local market. You go see the dominant one buying all the franchises from each other. They're cannibalizing themselves, right? You go to the global bankers are picking up C21s all over the place, right? It reminds me of, remember when Sears bought Kmart? Kmart went bankrupt, so Sears bought them and went right out of business with them. Made no damn sense. Same thing, no different. This is what's happening. You take those same 3 metrics of just any business, every one of the cloud companies, every one of them growing in agent count, growing in market share, growing in
COVID proved a lot of things, but one of the things that COVID proved was that the cloud is where people want to spend more time at. People want the cloud, and that's why the clouds are crushing it.
All these little fun facts for you, some more fun. EXP, right?
And Curt, we're gonna have to wrap this up here, unfortunately.
2009 EXP started. I'll just give you 3 more fun facts, and when you guys got me off. EXP started.
Yep.
Right? Anybody hear of Airbnb? They technically started the company and they funded it in 2008. They launched it in 2009.
Yep.
Venmo, largest cash exchange company in the world, started in 2009. Uber, largest rideshare company in the world, 2009. Number 1 business chat group in the world, chat WhatsApp, 2009. You guys kind of see what's happening here. Now, you remember Blockbuster Videos or that company? Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's on Netflix came to town, cloud-based company doing movies. Guess where they are today? Franchise models. They're gone. They put them out of business. What you see here, guys, these are all cloud-based companies. They're the number 1 in every space they're in every industry that they're in, they are. Remember this little guy named Amazon was putting bookstores out of business, then retailers. Now they're putting malls out of business. Cloud-based company. These are all cloud giants. Every single one of these guys are the number 1 in their space. Guess what? Real estate, it's a Blockbuster Video and a Netflix scenario. Would you go work for Blockbuster Video if you knew Netflix was in town?
No.
All right, let me go back to this for one more second. If they told you they were a pyramid, when you started, when they sat down with you and said, hey, great news, you come join us for a giant pyramid, would you have gone there? Have yet to find any one real estate agent in the world who ever said, my God, that would have been great. I would have loved to build a pyramid. I would have wanted to go there. They had no idea. I didn't know either. I worked for a couple of them. I didn't know. Right? Until I knew. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. But now that you know it, what would you do? You want to go work for a pyramid?
Nope.
Want to work for Blockbuster Video? Or do you want to work for Netflix? It's a no-brainer in that sense. And I make people mad when I say it's a no-brainer. Well, it's a no-brainer what's happening. Doesn't mean you can't stay there. Hell, people stayed at Blockbuster until the last day of locking that door, and that's what happened. But here's the question you asked Cody at the beginning. How do I change the difference of the direction of these agents? It's very simple. Every agent says, number 1 answer, I make $100,000. You know what the number 1 answer, if I said, what do you need more than anything else? They say they want support. They want to be loved, right? I never worked for the broker that didn't love me either until I told them I was leaving. Weirdly, none of them called me after I left. How weird is that? I thought we were loved. If my kid went to go work someplace I didn't want him to, I still love my kid. But yet, if you're in real estate, you go work for different brokers, they don't love you anymore. It's not a love fest, guys. We think support is something special. The truth is they tell you, right, they'll call you back if you ask them a question. They're not designed to help you. They're not designed to provide the number 1 thing you need more than anything in life in real estate is leads. They're not designing for that. Real estate brokerages are not built to give you leads. They don't give you any because they weren't made that way. It's your job to do it. What you need is to be trained. And most of them have no training or very little training because they can't afford to pay the guy. The big red one down the street from me down here, the guy that's there, the front of is a good friend of mine. He makes $42,000 to teach agents to sell real estate. How much can he teach them to make, guys?
How much what?
He makes $42,000 a year teaching them how to sell real estate. How much can he teach you to make?
27.5.
Yeah. 27.5.
Yeah. What does everybody want? $100,000. This guy, yeah, I'll teach you how to make it. Really? You don't know how to make it. How are you going to teach me to make that? So, what if you had a brokerage that actually gave you support? There's 300 plus admins every single day in a metaverse virtual platform to support you every single day for real. What if every single one of the states you worked in had multiple 3, 4, 5 different brokers working at all times for you? What if you had 16-hour support all day long for real? What if you actually had a training only by the people who do it at the highest levels? What if you had over 90 training opportunities every single week to do it virtually anywhere you're at? You could be sitting on a beach and be going in a classroom of training through the metaverse in a digital form of yourself. What if you could actually mastermind and be in a room with people like this every single day? Every day of the year, you could be in a mastermind group with only the top people. Success-free success. You want to learn how to be successful? Get in a room. It's called proximity. Get in a room with people who are having success. You want to be broke? Hang out with 10 broke friends. You'll be the 11th broke friend.
Ooh, if you want to be broke, go to your broker.
Go to your broker.
So bad. I'm getting canceled off of the RH podcast.
You got canceled. But wrapping up here, Curt, I just really do appreciate the opportunity that we had in order to kind of sit down and we echo a lot of these sentiments where it's it's the ability to, and what I like, what you said the most, kind of wrapping up here is it's maybe it's not EXP, maybe it's not real, maybe it's finding finding something that really works for you and running with it. It's looking at the entire whole of what works best for you. Maybe it's Compass, maybe it's real, maybe it's EXP, whatever it may be. Just think about where can I get the most support right now in the industry?
Yeah.
What do I jive with the most, and where can I get the training, the resources in order to really build my business at a high level? Now, if somebody were to want to reach out to you, maybe it's an agent-to-agent referral, maybe it is they want to learn a little bit more about what you do locally or across the globe, where's the best place that we can send them to kind of reach out to you, have a more of a conversation?
Appreciate CurtShewell.com.
That's super simple. But Curt, I want to say, that's super simple. Curt, I want to say thank you out of my heart for joining us today on the Our Agent podcast. Really do appreciate the opportunity. We got the jam today. And I want to say thank you for tuning into another episode of the RE Agent podcast, the #1 real estate podcast in the world. We'll see you soon.